Well, we find ourselves in this cumbersome position yet again, where we have to do what we have to do. Folks, welcome to the Clout.WAV podcast, your favorite podcast, with one of your hosts, the ever so indubitable, the ever so cocky, who's so arrogant that he would use a word wrong, pretend like he didn't do it, just to offend you who are smarter than he in the comment section below, or something to that effect. Myself, Mr. Frosty Gombo, and we have subtle fraudulence, not to be outdone, the glitz, the glamour, the true essence of perfection of this channel. So how you doing, bud? Are you ready to delve into the nonsense we have on display today?
Nah, man. I mean, look, after I heard that rich people decided they wanted to take a submarine to see the Titanic and didn't think that that would go wrong, anything can happen these days. I mean,
hey, that boat may be at the bottom of the sea, but it did not drown in pools. It's still claiming victims to this day.
The new season of Black Mirror came out, and they did an interview with the creator, and he said the reason why it took so long to even do that, and why he wants to kind of like curve away from classic Black Mirror, is because reality has gotten too weird for him to write these fictional stories of how crazy society could become, because we're there.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be the next Dick Wolf. He doesn't want to inspire the next crazy man.
The phones. It's the phones.
So you saying that one gentleman was right? You remember him? We were sitting there, 1 a.m. after a tournament. You pulled out your cell phone, and that old man just said, "That's where the devil does his work right there."
Oh, it's my God. Not the IHOP story. Oh, man. He said, you kids, you got to get off your phones. You got to get off your phones right now and pay attention to each other because the world is changing. Maybe.
Because that's where the devil does his best work, in them phones. And he said, "Mind if I pray for y'all?" And I was like, how did we get co-opted into a prayer circle? I just want to eat my pancakes, man.
Yeah, I just wanted my chicken and chicken and mashed potatoes?
Nah, man, that's never gonna happen. They didn't even get you your lemonade. Then people started wanting to get into a fight, and I'm like, bro, we're not at the Waffle House. Look, it was a wild time. But I digress, reeling ourselves back into the real world. We unfortunately have some topics that we don't necessarily want to talk about, but we'd be remiss if we didn't. First and foremost, we have this thing called Kick.com. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a streaming platform that is adjacent to Twitch. I say adjacent as opposed to opposed because they're still using Amazon Web Services. So at the end of the day, Amazon's making that money hand over fist. Sure, Kick, you can do the best job you can, but you're never going to kick our finances to the curb because you have to pay.
Sir, come on, man. No, don't do that. You'll become just like Pokimane, and then they'll come out and be like,
well, listen, you see, there's some people who froth at the mouth and just didn't want to understand, because let's be honest, when it comes to people like Nick Merckx, all of a sudden we know what somebody means, and we understand that we want to have a nuanced conversation and we don't want to read too deep into anything. But same folks, Pokimane said something and that was off with the wench's head.
Hey, man.
Send her to the lag of goose.
Look, Twitch came out themselves and said, we don't really make money off of Kick, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So, because Twitch doesn't. We're talking about Amazon as a whole. Amazon is going to get and finesse their bag in any way, shape, or form. And when Amazon makes money, it's going to offset the cost of anything that isn't making money, which will allow that to be around longer. If Twitch, as we know, loses money, we've seen some reports of it, let's be honest, if it was losing them enough money to the point to where Amazon started to have to make business decisions, hey, Twitch would have been out of the game a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch would have been cooked a long time ago, because they've always had these delusions of grandeur that these online video game streams are going to blossom and blow up and balloon and to swell into something that is going to be so much of a financial boom for the company that it would be foolish not to do it. But much like Google's losing business with YouTube in terms of losing money and how much infrastructure it takes to keep this show going, they keep it going because if they were to ever give it up, if they ever did become profitable, if it ever did suck some new life into a community or into a financial situation that would be at a company's best interest, the fact that they would have to look back retroactively, seeing that they had not only a stranglehold, a chokehold, a knee in the back of their neck, a headlock that was suffocating upon that industry, and they just let it go, just for somebody to be Johnny come lately, come in there like a thief in the night and just have a big takeover, not because they outworked you or outfinanced you or out-infrastructured you or out-manned you in terms of manpower behind the scenes, but because you just said, I'm going to just let it go. And because that bubble hasn't bursted yet, a lot of these companies will continue to run certain services at a loss. This is basic knowledge. We know this. It's just weird how when Pokimane tried to say it, and she had one faux pas about calling Amazon Web Services and obviously Twitch interchangeably, even though they're both ran by Amazon, knowing where the money's going, the fact that we wanted to, I guess, put a flag down and batten down the hatches on that portion of her segment as opposed to talking about the actual issue was weird to me. Big weirdo energy, but if that's what y'all want to do, look, y'all are making me defend Pokimane, all right? That's like, I don't want this to ever be part of my vernacular, all right? Like, I don't. But I can't stand with stupid. I can't. It's just not going to happen. So that's what I'll say there. But if you want to peel back another layer, Kick, are they going to survive the viewbotting allegations? Because let's face it, folks, they are. It's a website. People have viewbotted for years. There are people who've been on Twitch who got accused of viewbotting, still viewbot, and are still on the platform. There are people who have been...
There's a new botting problem on Twitch, so topical.
You know, like the viewbotting has been a thing for years. Anybody remember the number 301? If you are a YouTuber in the past 8 years, you know number 301. You know. What? You got a video that's popping off, it stops at 301 views? If you know, you know. So people have been viewbotting for, this is going to sound weird to say, but over a decade. This has been a thing that people have been doing to try to get their foot in the door in some cases, or to remain as if they have the image of the person who's still on top of their field in terms of viewership. Now, I say all that because it's gotten even easier. You don't even need a bot. You don't need to learn how to code. You don't need to learn how to program. You don't need to know how to go the extra mile. You don't even have to pay some third-party offshore service to come in with a bunch of bots on a server to just come in and just have a whole series of IPs come into your channel and swoon for you in the chat. Oh, yes, dear streamer. You're so elegant. You're so eloquent with your speech. Your verbiage just makes me oh so moist to my very core. Like, you don't even need to do that anymore. On Twitch, you might. But on Kick, even easier. They streamline the process to such a way you could do it like this. You can open up a Kick stream. Unfortunately, I had to use a fighting game constituent known as Henny Matrix. Just clicked on their channel. Don't know them. Don't know them donuts. But I'll have some images coming on the screen in a couple seconds. As you can see here on the first image, as I go ahead and save these images for you guys now. In this first image, you're going to notice something, and you may be a little worried. You may even be like, I'm not sure what you're getting at, because when I look at it, right? When I look deep down and I see it for what it is, it really what it boils down to is that man's only got 3 viewers. And I'm trying to figure out how you going to try to tell me that somebody with 3 viewers is viewbotting. It's only 3 people. Like, I get it. You may have some ulterior motives here, Mr. Streamer. Maybe you got some beef with this guy. But why would you think that he's viewbotting with only 3 viewers? Well, I will tell you why. Because you see, if you look at the top of this image, you'll notice something. You may find it strange. You may find it peculiar. Why do I have 20 tabs open of the same streamer? Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense. You're going to watch the guy 20 times? That would be odd. Well, I sat around with my tabs open for a little bit, decided to sit back and see if anything would shake, anything would change with the viewer count. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, something did. Something actually genuinely wowed me. Left me rather speechless, as I would say. Because what ended up happening is all of a sudden, this account that only had 3 viewers before I decided to open up all these tabs had 20 viewers. As you can see down there near the bottom right of the viewer playhead, 20 viewers. And I thought to myself, odd, quite strange, maybe even a little bit weird. So then I decided, you know what? Let's just solidify it. Let's just close a bunch of tabs all at once. And guys, you can see the timestamp. So this isn't like I have some gigantic long wait period between when I started watching and when I stopped watching. But I decided, you know what? Let me close the tabs. Let me go out of my way to make sure that I see if the viewer count goes back to a relatively low number as I begin closing tab after tab after tab. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, once I did that and left 2 tabs open, folks, I hate to say it, but the rumors are true. Back down to 5 viewers. That's tough. And as you can see, given the various timestamps, this was all in the course of what? 9 minutes? I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's where we're at with it. In terms of 9 minutes, I can make, just by opening tabs, I can make your viewer count fluctuate from 3 viewers to as many viewers as I want, with as many tabs as I want to open. And then just leave them open and you have an inflated viewer count. Now you may be saying, is that a problem? Is that an issue? Is that an oversight by Kick? Or is it intentional? That I'm not going to say. That's why I say allegedly. Because while it would be, let's just be honest here and transparent, it's a great advertising thing to always say, look at all the viewership, look at the spike in viewership all of you people are getting. Look at how many eyes are on your product when it's just you, Mr. or Mrs. No-name streamer. Kings, queens, and everybody in between, my fellow Themperers, come on over to Kick. Eyes will always be on your product. And it's just people opening tabs. But let's be honest. A lot of people know that there's guests, there's lurkers, people who may be watching who don't normally necessarily have an account. So if you check the viewers list, you might be like, oh, that's just normal. That's just how it is. And you would just move on with your day thinking that you have increased viewership. That's insane. Now, is there anything that's negative about this? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to have inflated viewer counts, which means that your data isn't pure. And it means a lot of the data that people are using to talk about their increase in viewership might be based on bullshit.
Hey, man, but that gets you in the door, right? You know, then you'll get that $10 million deal, and then, you know, it'll be too late. You'll be just like all the other streamers who have non-exclusive contracts of Kick where they get a bag over here on Kick for, you know, $10 to $50 million, and then they just go to Twitch, and then they continue to make more millions of dollars with their streams.
Hey, man, diversify that supplementary income, baby. That's what you got to do.
Look,
now,
Twitch. The reason why Twitch doesn't have the same problem is because, you know, they check your IP. Hey, these tabs are all coming from the same IP address. All right, well, then I believe it's one person watching this stream. So not 20 people watching the stream from the same IP address.
With Twitch, it was much worse at one point. At one point, if you had the stream muted, but you had it full screen, you still didn't count as a viewer.
Yeah. They had the opposite problem.
They said no audio?
Sorry.
They said no audio? Sorry, Butsky. You're no longer a viewer. And what I find to be very interesting about that is when you look at Kick and you look at these potentially inflated viewer numbers, ultimately, can I sit here and say with all certainty that it's malicious? No. Is it convenient? You bet your sweet bippy it is. But Just because something is convenient doesn't mean they've gone out of their way to change it, to benefit themselves in a malicious way. But it doesn't seem like something they're really eager to go change. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't something where I could see Trainwrecks and like the rest of the goons. Guys, DEFCON 1. We got people frauding their way to the top. Like, that's not a situation that we're going to be in.
Have you been on the platform? Come on now. That's the least of their concerns.
It's like you got people apparently doing drugs, getting blowjobs. You got people out here having damn near domestic violence spats. You got people being openly racist, and they're getting slap on the wrist punishment. So I don't see why. You got
people doing sex tourism. You got people going to other countries and getting arrested for acting a fool for their stream and not knowing that in that country they don't play games like that.
True. They also have the whole anti-Semitic thing that was going on with Heel Mike. What was it? Like, was that past couple days?
Past couple of days. Hey, man, it's all a conspiracy. The Jews are doing it. Like, oh, we're going to that, huh? I mean, like, that didn't work for Ye. And like, I mean, he's quietly making his comeback, you know, with Adidas and whatnot, but quietly for a reason. So
they didn't even work for Kyrie Irving, and that man just posted a picture of a book.
I'm sure Kyrie's fine now, though, right? Right?
Well, no, he went to Dallas, and he still didn't do anything for the playoffs. So, hey, monkey see, monkey do. It's what he does best. He talks a big game, says he's ready, and then he goes ghost like Danny Phantom. You hate to see. But sports analogies aside, do I think that this is like a big monumental thing that's going to hold Kick back? No. Because at the end of the day, there are two things that we know about platforms. I don't care if it's Twitch. I don't care if it's YouTube. I don't care if it's Kick or Rumble or any other place that you may be able to put your content. None of these companies care about you, your content, your fan base, your subscribers. As long as you can get that dollar, that currency, whatever it is, that rupee into their hand, that's what they care about. So look, if you want to go to Kick and you think you have, you know, big dreams of making it big as a content creator over there, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, you shouldn't go to Kick. You shouldn't trust them. You shouldn't trust any of these companies. Have you not seen what the last couple of episodes where we've talked about Twitch and what they do? Let's not act like Twitch is 2 thumbs up, certified peer reviews. All right, let's not do that. Do you remember what happened to my other YouTube channel? So let's not act like Google's over here going, hurrah, hurrah, the content creators, we love them. So yes, every platform is going to have their series of issues. And yes, there's plenty of things that you can find fault in and that suck in all of the major and even minor league players in the content creation space as far as platforms. Hell, have you seen Facebook gaming? Do y'all remember that?
Ooh.
Do you remember Mixer? Remember that?
You know, that seems to be what everybody's comparing Kick to. And I believe that is the actual like fate of Kick, to be honest. Like, everyone's like,
even if it is, here's what I can say about Kick, and I genuinely mean this. Mm-hmm. Kick is new, it's fresh. A lot of the people who are in this installation base are not anchored to Kick. What I mean by that is, go get your money. Go on Kick, get your money, get your bag, go ahead and get your finesse on. But here's the thing about what happens when you get that finesse on. If Kick ever shuts down or there's a scandal and you have to leave, there's a much higher chance of your audience following you from Kick to YouTube or Kick to Twitch than vice versa. I'm going to just tell you that right now. Getting someone to pack their bags to go from Twitch to Kick, the vast majority, a lot of their content creators are already on the platform. So you leaving, someone else is just going to fill that role. Someone else is just going to supplement your spot. Because as we know, especially in the gaming space, you want me to make another account? Dog, people didn't even want to get free video games for them to play with their friends if it meant they had to sign up and get another game store account like Origin or Epic Games Store. And that was to get games that they could own for the free ski that were AAA. People didn't even want to spend the extra $1 just to get a free year of Game Pass. It was $1. So in the gaming space, you have to understand the fans are fickle. The companies even more so. And as always, when I talk about this type of stuff, we have to remember one thing. It's okay to play the game. It's okay. If you want to go to Kick, get your money. If you see that more people are donating and subscribing and giving you more bells and whistles and more treats in your bag over at Kick, please stay on that platform. But don't ever confuse the success you're getting on that platform with the platform itself having your back and you need to bleed green. That's all I'm saying. Watch yourself, read your contracts, protect yourself. If it's big money involved, please get it looked over by a lawyer. I know you may be saying, oh, but legal fees. I'd rather you knowingly make a deal with a lawyer than to find out you've been holed out of more than what it would cost to have picked a lawyer to go and read over this thing and commission them for it over a series of years, a period of time where you've just been being bled dry like a whale with a tummy infection because you just let it rock because you wanted the money now. That's all I'm saying. Just don't get hoed. Anything that you would like to add here?
I mean, you said pretty much all of it. Look, if you believe that more people are going to pay attention to your stream on Kick, go for it. Build your audience how you need to build it, because Twitch is not going to help you with that. They added super chats to Twitch and somehow made it worse. It doesn't even this is something that works on YouTube, and they just copied it and then made it worse. So yeah, Twitch is not going to help you.
What's crazy is, as a streamer, if you let someone super chat, it's like, yay, you get to read my message, woohoo! And it's like, they already did that because you could do raw donations and attach a message to it. That was something that you technically already had. It's just now within the infrastructure of the Twitch window where you could type it in the chat raw without having to go to a third party like Streamlabs or PayPal as mini window on the side. You can just do it in the chat, which is cool and all. But the fact that Twitch says, hey guys, we reinvented the wheel, that's going to be 30% off top, insane. That should have been a non-negotiable fuck you from every partner and affiliate on the platform en masse. It won't be, but it should be. But other than that, it is what it is when it comes to these places. But speaking of it is what it is, y'all already made me defend Pokimane for a little bit. Now we got to defend the anomaly. Young SonicFox. You see, I don't know what it is. There was a tweet that he had put out a couple days ago saying they are very weirded out by the parasocial relationships that people have with him, especially when it's based off of odd information or misinformation or things that are so minuscule that you can't even really call it a rumor, but they start dramatizing these blood feuds or deep love, intimate relationships with this person, while only have hearing a story from a friend of a friend who read a tweet about something that another person wrote who's got their account privated, so you can't even go look to verify. And now they have concocted this entire ideology of who SonicFox or anybody who's, got any sort of social standing in clout is based off of hearsay. And what's weird to me is how frequent I see random really hot takes happen about content creators, and then when you look into their hot takes, it's like, you're not even talking about the person you think you're talking about. That's insane to me. And it's just funny that because of that tweet that came out a couple of days ago, this other person jumps out the woodwork, and I'm gonna let you take the story from here, man. Talk to him. What happened?
What SonicFox announced being added to, I think it's called the PogChamps, added to some sort of like, a gaming event that's going to involve SonicFox playing chess with some other like big content creators. And amidst that, someone quote tweeted SonicFox being happy about that, and then just went, man, I bet this dude trash at fighting games. I'll watch him up right now. And SonicFox being like, oh, all right, well, run the set. I mean, if you win, I will give you 10K, but if I win, you have to become a furry.
So you want to know what's really funny about that?
What?
I'm not going to say that this is set up or staged, because I have met plenty of crazy people online in my life who just are insane and delusional and do go into parasocial relationships. I've seen it way too often now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've seen of this, the person comes in there and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to wash you, blah, 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 but I'm going to do it for the big homie, low tier God. And it's like, what does low tier God have to do with, like, what are we doing? Like, I feel like this is somebody who just was a troll who just wanted to be picked so he could do some crazy stuff and get some clout. And it worked. It worked. Because when you get into the video, you start watching this person did not care about winning. They got in there with like, oh my God, I've only played the game for like 10 minutes. I've only played Rain. Oh my God. Oh, and then apparently their PSN account got disconnected mid-set because they didn't pay the bill. And, it's just one of those things where you got to start realizing that sometimes the person on the other side of the internet connection, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Twitch, someone in your chat, or there's someone in your YouTube comment section, sometimes you just have to understand that it's best not to engage because they're not wired up here. Notice I said not wired incorrectly. There's nothing. It's a vacant lot in here, in the brain. Y'all ever seen Lean On Me with Morgan Freeman? You smoke crack, don't you? You know what crack does to you? It's like killing yourself, but slow it. If you're going to do it, don't fuck around with it. Do it expeditiously. Do you know what crack does to you, son? Do you know what it does to you? It kills your brain cells. That's what some of these people are. They're already in the post phase of what happens when you have a crippling crack addiction. It killed their brain cells. It's already over for them. It's already wraps. So you thinking that you're going to have a rational, calm conversation with somebody isn't something that should have been a realistic expectation for you in this dialogue option that you're opening with this person. Some of y'all may have remembered a couple of weeks ago when we were talking to you guys. Well, I was talking to my stream about Overwatch and how Overwatch is having this huge downfall with how they've handled seasons 1 through 4, and how when season 5 was about to launch within 3 days, they had nothing to say about season 5. It was, don't worry, guys, season 5's a filler arc. But season 6, though, and I was like, how disrespectful is that to the people who are playing right now? Much less how disrespectful it was for the people that you left in a content drought for over 2 years between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. Now, you may be saying, okay, but how does this relate? What's the correlation between the SonicFox topic and this topic? Well, there was someone who was in my chat who called in. Some of you may remember this. They called in and they tried to say that the downfall of Activision Blizzard in terms of how they handle things with Overwatch and how Overwatch is always susceptible to a terrible community and how Overwatch is always going to be downtrodden and why it's in the state it's in. The rationale they tried to use was because it's a game that cowtails and tries to make their core audience women and members of the LGBTQ+. That was their argument for why Overwatch is the way it is from a balance perspective and from a lack of content perspective. Is because of the women and the gays.
Okay, so
when someone says something like that, what do you? Come on, bro.
There's this website called Twitter.com, right?
Right.
I would recommend that you not really go there and take it very seriously. It's fun. It's got, lots of fun people there. There's
Great
some cool
humor.
people on there.
You can
I'm
follow
on
me
there,
at the same at below.
Yeah,
Right,
you can
there.
have a fun time on there. But there are a lot of people who have what we like to call brain worms. All right. And for some reason, that website is tailoring to them. I mean, the new owners, he's starting to exhibit some behavior that seems like maybe he might have some of that himself. I mean, he made the word cisgender a slur on the website. So
let me ask you this.
Not a lot of.
What is the side effect of brainworms?
Well, believing that every single insane thought you've had is law and that everyone will believe you, because some people will show up and be like, you know what? I think I have the same affliction. I believe the same thing myself.
Here's the thing. You can search for your like-minded insaneness now.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's always
if you believe some super hot nonsense back in the day, you would go out and you would say your hot nonsense, and most people around you would just be like, dog, for your low IQ, sloped forehead ass just needs to sit in the back and be quiet. And then you would feel bad. You would think about it, and you'd have two choices. Either just be the weird idiot, or you would go out and educate yourself. Now, you could say whatever you want on social media, and somebody who believes that same odd thing, who has never put their study to a litmus test, has never actually sat down, had any sort of critical thinking, or was even open to opening the avenue of conversation with somebody who was opposing belief in any way, can search it, like it, retweet it, and if those numbers go up even a little bit, you guys go banger tweet. See, that's why it's the facts. Because you guys always talk, and goes for both the left and the right. Y'all always talk about, look at these people, they're always in their echo chamber. Then turn around and it's like, do you not see your echo coliseum that you've built here? Are you just ignorant to the fact that you're doing this? Are you just not aware? Or is this one of those things, rules for thee, but not for me? Is that what's going on here? Because if that is, that is A1 hypocrisy. A1. But, I digress, getting back on topic, as you were saying.
Yeah. So anyways, on twitter.com, you'll see quite a few people, especially if you're a part of the FGC, you'll see something very simple. Like, Street Fighter 6 is a pretty great game. And then just see like 10 people show up and be like, no, haven't you seen the new tech that's happening? That game is terrible. Oh my God. Low tier, God said. And then, just have like 10 other people saying weird shit. I mean, we got to a point where there was a week where it sounded like a lot of people on Twitter don't like women. And it got to a point where some people were arguing like, no, men don't want a woman who's thick. It's like, have you existed for the last 5 to 10 years? Because I don't know about you. But
are you talking about the head ass comment that was like, guys actually don't like thicker women, not because there's anything wrong with them perchance, but we want the thin, more dainty women because that's a beauty standard that we all share as a collective, like hive mind amongst men. It's a feature set that we want to cultivate, and it's something that we want to manifest in our own lives. And the only reason why chubby girls even get a chance is because the average guy can't get sex. That was his argument. The average guy just can't fuck.
Yeah, look at what Fresh and Fit has done to y'all. Like, come on, man. Like, you need to actually just go outside instead of try to get fresh and fit or whatever. Because
look
at those guys.
I'm just gonna say this. The average guy. The average guy can't pull Beyonce. But y'all have got to stop extrapolating the data of Beyonce is every woman. Okay. Y'all make it seem like girl who goes to the library. Oh, she's got Beyonce standards. Yep. If you ain't,
there's tons of like normal Beyonce-esque women out there. Like you just got to stop being like, oh, she looks just like Beyonce. There's no way she'll like me because I like anime. It's like, all right, bro. It's like she doesn't like you because they're weird.
Like y'all really like these people be concocting in their brains, folks. Hey, you want to know what's cool? They really be believing if you don't have a 14-inch penis, a 14-figure salary,
all right,
you're 6'4", or taller, and you don't have your own house and your own car and your own job and all these things, then there's no reason why even a most average girl who's come from a modest upbringing would ever even look in your direction. And they really believe that. Why? Because the only people that they listen to are people who are chasing after the content clout dream, and the people who they curate to bring on to the channel that either are well-known and documented pygmies, or people who cannot have the diction or the mental fortitude to debate their way out of a wet paper bag. Or people who just want to play up their ditziness for clout. Because let's be honest, when they choose these OnlyFans models, they know who they're choosing. This doesn't just happen out the blue. They don't just throw out I'm talking about the Fresh and Fit podcast people, like those people.
I mean,
that's what I'm talking about. Like these are, once again, these are all curated spaces. They know who they're getting. This doesn't just happen by happenstance. And they'll get people and they'll pose questions that, let's be honest, we've seen some of their conversation. This is not like conversations that like they have prep for. Like they may have had time to prep for it because it's their show. But the people who they bring on there, like what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name right now. The guy who had the Nazi lady on there not too long ago.
Wait, what?
Is it Hassan? No, it's not.
Wait,
Hassan.
what? Nazi lady?
He had a lady come on there who had said that, oh, slavery really wasn't that bad. Because
are you talking about Ethan Klein and
yeah,
Just
there you
Hurley
go,
things?
Ethan. There you go. That nonsense. Like, you think that he chose that guest?
Yeah, he did.
No. I mean, like, chose that guest without knowing what he was going to be able to get out of it.
Oh, who, Ethan? I mean, yeah, sure. And like, we also need to remember that she was a guest on the Fresh and Fit podcast back when she was trying to make just like, be like a funny content creator who just makes the videos or whatever. She didn't get herself into the manosphere until after she was on the Fresh and Fit podcast. And she claims that they treated her like shit because the first time she was there, she was single. The second time she was there, she got back with her ex-boyfriend and he showed up with her. And so they got mad, and then she just started doing exactly what they do, except dumber. And it's working for her because she's just, I don't know, surrounding herself with people who also want to like leech off of the content that she's creating. So, yeah,
some people want to be coddled. Some people just want to be coddled, and that's their audience.
Here's the thing about Twitter.com. Let's bring it back because she's a good example. She was on, the H3 podcast, and Ethan, showed just how like dumb she was, just how like unwilling she is to defend her viewpoints on these like very controversial things that she says daily. And even after being like pressured, even after being shown that like there are so many holes in her arguments, all of these things, she went home and just immediately started tweeting the same things. It was just like, you see, guys, it was a setup. He was just trying to make me look dumb the whole time. And it was like, no, honey,
you made yourself
look dumb. But it doesn't matter because there are still people who are on that website who are seeing her tweets of saying some of the same things that were exposed to not be true. And just say, yep, she knows everything she's talking about. She's completely correct. She facts every day. Love that pearl. Those same people are out here, atting SonicFox and being like, I bet you're pretty trash at fighting games. I could probably destroy you. And, sometimes some people want to just like, they're bored or they just want to take the bait and be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to beat up this guy on stream. And now he has to be a furry. And that's what happened. So the guy gets beaten by SonicFox after this whole fiasco of him being on stream, like schizo posting about how he doesn't have a PSN anymore or whatever. He lets out a tweet that says, I haven't played that game in like, 10 months or whatever, but I bet low tier God could totally wash this dude. LTG? You think LTG is gonna beat SonicFox in Mortal Kombat? Look, LTG himself will come out and be like, "You're crazy."
So, and unironically, Not even a joke. He couldn't even beat me. We have documented footage of that.
Look, that was MKX, man. MK11 is a different game, right, bro? You know.
I'm willing to bet that he was better at MKX than he ever was at MK11.
Well, look, man, that's all you. If you want to run the set, then you go ahead and add him.
Look, here's the thing. I don't care to run the set. I'm just saying
exactly.
we've seen what happened. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got you. But like, yeah, your point still stands. And like LTG he's evolved. He, you know, would come out and say that's ridiculous. I respect SonicFox as a competitor, and I know that SonicFox is better than me at the game.
Because he actually plays that game.
Yeah. Just because SonicFox doesn't play that game anymore, like consistently, doesn't mean SonicFox is not gonna like destroy like half the nation at that game.
Well, I would argue that Low Tier God, like if you take all the fighting games he's probably played recently, I'm sure MK is probably not even in the top 10.
Nah.
Of games that he's actively playing. So of course, like I don't see where you would get that information, or you would think that. But I feel like they were just throwing stuff at the fan. They know Low Tier God's a name, and they just wanted to get stuff to stick because their analytics. This is probably the most that anybody has ever cared to even see that person's text on the screen ever in life, and it will be gone by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I take that back because that one dude who makes the button check videos is probably going to talk about it. So it'll go away by Thursday. You would be surprised. It showed up in my recommended today, and I was like,
look, I haven't been recommending anything from that channel in literal years, and it has been so great. Look, curate your feeds, everyone.
All I'm going to say is that Lil Wayne Gucci, that video, that's how I feel every time I see that person pop up on my feed.
Look, man, curate your feeds. All right. Look, on any platform that is not twitter.com, if you're seeing things and you're just like, why do they keep recommending me this video? I clearly don't want to watch. Or hey, why are these button check videos showing up on my feed? Just hit that button that says don't recommend this channel ever again, and they will not. I mean, trust me, they will not.
That's exactly what I did.
They don't even recommend me videos from people that I'm literally subscribed to. So like, nah, you're not going to hit me with that.
Hey, man, I've only had to do that twice. The other one was because I got tired of seeing that Ultra Vegito shit pop on my feed, bro.
I got like, I did that with Aberrant Preach because I got tired of seeing all those like clickbaity videos where they were like, this person on TikTok, the teacher says you should respect trans people, or hey, you should respect this pronouns of this person who wants to be a cat. Ridiculous. And it's like, we know exactly what this is. You guys are gonna like call this person crazy, be like, hey, it's ridiculous that people are allowing this stuff to happen in schools, yada yada yada. Throw some of those like points in there softly for the audience who already believes it.
Here's the thing. That's what content is now, folks. I hate to say it, but for a lot of people, look, they just want the same mind-numbing thing over and over and over again.
Look, that's some content, you know, that's the easier content to make now, because it'll flock to a lot more people because negativity gets a lot more views, unfortunately, because the way things work. I mean, look, twitter.com, purchased by Elon Musk, turned into a shit show, is the funniest story that you could have told me about. Like, if you're a time traveler and you visited me 10 years ago and you were like, what's the funniest thing that happened? That's it. That's the funniest story, because it just keeps giving every single day. You just got to go to the website and look at it. Go to the website, look at it, and then see a screenshot of what the website looked like 6 years ago. And you will understand. It's crazy that they even allowed half of this to happen. And it's getting worse. Wow, I can't believe it. So tons of people will see, you know, a screenshot of something that says a cat in the school, and then they're like, wow, I can't believe that's happening. Even though it's maybe like one occurrence of this thing happening in like a small town, where like, you know, one teacher said something and you're like, you're out of line, Miss Judy. Like maybe you should calm it down a little bit. Like, Yeah, sure. You should be like, hey, if the kid wants to be, be a cat, don't like beat him up. But like, you don't have to be like, look, meow Sama here. Like, I don't, none of that shit. None of that shit has to be a thing. But the moment you see your favorite content creator make a video that's like, this is ridiculous, I can't believe they're trying to turn us all into cats, that's when you know that you've crossed the line. And maybe you should curate your content a little bit better. All right. Because YouTube used to have this problem where they would have content that's like, Anita Sarkeesian's trying to ruin your video games. And it was just like fucking Fedora after Fedora trying to say that same thing. And then people had to come out and be like, she's really not. Like there's nothing that she has said or any like woman has said in the gaming industry that's really promoting that image at all. The women just want to play the games, and that's really all most of the rational people are saying. And then everyone's like, huh, actually, now that I pay attention to it, every woman that I've talked to has said the same thing. They just want to play video games, and I think that's neat.
And Anita Sarkeesian was just one of the biggest cap stars, and that's the one that got famous, so that's tough.
Well, look, man, the internet was strange, and we're going back to that time because
I was going to say, when did it stop being strange? But when it comes to Anita Sarkeesian, it's like, look, a lot of people say, yeah, but we hate her and this and that, and I was like, listen, we know that she lies in 90% of her videos. We've seen it, we've documented it, we're well aware. But if she wants to grift, call her out for the grift. Don't start saying that she's some insane boogie woman who has like some sort of omnipresence, who's over here taking over your gaming industry one IP at a time. Like that's not what was happening.
Bro, look, don't try to Sargon avocado the whole thing and be like, you see, if I put on this accent, you'll trust me because I know everything about everything. I read a book sometimes. And so I know that women are trying to destroy the society that we have built as a whole, and telling you that patriarchy is terrible. And it's like, bro, you just said a bunch of words, like, and it takes somebody to walk into the room and say, bro, those are just words. like
you saying things that they don't really even mean anything tangible, as opposed to what's your actual argument here? Because if what you're trying, because here's the thing, a lot of people were like, but we want more ethics in games journalism, and I was just like, no, you don't, because most of the stuff that you read, opinions can be bought. Because
what do you need the ethics for? Like, because you do need it.
People talk about games journalism like it's something that really matters. The average gamer, if I say, "Hey, what won Game of the Year in 2014?" most of y'all gonna tilt your head back and go, "Damn, what came out in 2014?" This shit don't matter, bro. It don't. You go on whatever gaming journalist website that you favor. Look at the sidebar. Call of Duty coming out soon. You're gonna see soldier with gun. Pre-order now. Like, come on, bro.
Look. There's a trending topic that was going around for like maybe like a week of like, oh, what do you think ruined the gaming industry? That topic came with people assuming that the games industry is just like so shitty that no good game has come out or whatever. It's been 3 weeks since Street Fighter 6 has come out. We're all still playing that game and having a good time. We found some tech that's kind of breaking the game, but Capcom is like, hey, whoa. Don't worry, guys. Please still continue to have fun. We'll take care of it.
Our industry's not ruined on this side of the platform.
Like, the games industry is like in a very weird spot. And there are some aspects that are not good. A lot of indie developers are like, keeping it alive by coming up with newer ideas for like, more interesting games. You don't have to buy Call of Duty, but you can buy Call of Duty if you want to just play a popular game with your friends that's never going to lose its player base or whatever the fuck, right?
Look, we're just going to start from June, okay? Let me tell you how dead this game industry is, all right? Amnesia the Bunker, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4. We're dead. We're cooked. We have nothing left. We have
Nobody
nothing.
played those games.
Final Fantasy 16, cooked, shattered. Destroy all humans.
The worst Final Fantasy game. It's got easy mode. It doesn't play like the old Final Fantasy games I remember, like Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8, which I actually hate. Yeah, man.
Elder Scrolls got an expansion. We're dead. We're cooked. We're dead.
Who plays that? It's not like I play Skyrim 6 times a day.
We have lost the war on terror. Exo Primal comes out next month. We're cooked. We have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. We're getting a Double Dragon Gaiden game, Rise of the Dragon. Cooked. July has nothing for us.
We're getting a Double Dragon game?
Yeah, see? Cooked. Absolute propaganda.
Now that we're on this topic, it's time for me to tell you guys the best Double Dragon game to ever come out, and that's River City Girls 2. All right,
I somehow knew we were going to River City.
that's the best Double Dragon game you could possibly ask for. Period. Lore wise, if you're a lore monster for like that universe, for the Kunio-kun universe, and just for Double Dragon universe in general, that game is perfect for it. Everything is dripping with lore to a point where one of the characters is literally the damsel in distress from Double Dragon, who got bored because the brothers are all just going off, I don't know, like fighting stuff, and she got buff and was like, now I'm gonna fight stuff. You can't make better lore than that. You can't make better things than that. All right. Well, it's great. It's great content. And Double Dragon is not coming back. Like in a regular like, you know, whatever. Like Double Dragon as a like mainstay series or whatever, it's not coming back. You're not going to get your like Streets of Rage 4-esque Double Dragon game.
I really think you need to look at Rise of the Dragons. I really think you need to look at it.
Rise of the Dragons? Is that the Double Dragon game that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's coming out for $30 next month. Yeah, next month. I think it's going to be something that you're going to purchase actually. But if we look at August, we got Atlas Fallen, we got Armored Core 6, we got Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Yeah, that's right, it's coming sooner than you think. And then September, Baldur's Gate 3. Lies of P, Mortal Kombat 1, Payday 3, Cyberpunk's getting an expansion. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that we're cooked.
Hold on, bro. Come on. I'm looking at this trailer for Double Dragon Gaiden, and come on, man. I got this game already. I got a better looking version of this game already. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Come on, man. What are you doing to me? What are you doing?
He ruined my joke.
What are you doing to me? You know? But yeah, this kind of is an example of why like Double Dragon could come back, but they won't.
But you understand, like, ultimately the point is, like, people are saying that if the gaming is ruined, it's like, no, because the only 3 games you play are Call of Duty and games that remind you of Call of Duty when you're mad at Call of Duty. That's it. That's all you play.
What are you talking about? Some people play Uncharted and God of War and Last of Us and, you know, those games.
Not the people who are complaining about the industry. Those they not them.
Look, David Cage has like a new. It's
everybody who wants
game.
to be XX John _esports XX. These are the people who are in that thread right now.
Nah, those people are also, you know, people who just play Dark Souls, Last of Us, Uncharted, and then they're like,
and don't forget about 2K and Madden, baby.
Jedi Survivor, like it was so disappointing. It's like, but it's one of those 3 games that you play like with Jedi. Like, what isn't that what you like? I mean, it's what you play.
People are like, man, the games industry been sucky, and they'd be like, bro, you play Madden every year. You spend that $60 minimum every year.
What you talking about, bro? They updated the roster,
bro. Yeah, they moved some text files around. Like, what the
hey, man, they updated the roster.
It's crazy because this every time I talk about Madden, it's amazing because if you go look up like Madden, this is Madden YouTubers. These people who play Madden for a living. To this day, it is 2023. Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong? It's 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And people to this day still compare the newest Maddens to ESPN Football 2K5 on from back in the day.
What?
People to this day still say that game has better animations, the AI for the linemen is better, the play calling's better, and the game feels more fluid. How is a game that is 18, old enough to go out and get a license and a full-time fucking job, somehow seen as technologically ahead of games that are coming out today? That Madden exclusivity deal has done nothing but cripple, disable, and hurt the football video gaming audience at large. But
let me tell you something. I did not say the games industry is pristine right now. What you described is the actual problem with the industry that hopefully big companies that hopefully will get solved through the actions of, I guess, people complaining now, because that's helping, or big companies losing so much that they're forced to make a good game. Capcom. That is the example. Street Fighter 6 came out, 3-4 weeks ago? I don't know, because I'm too busy having fun with the game. That game is the direct result of everyone shitting on Street Fighter 5 for literally years. And that game actually became decent at the end. Problem was, at the end, we got the product we should have gotten at the beginning. And so people getting so upset with Capcom about that game taught Capcom that they need to put a little bit more effort, or fire some people and hire some people who will put in the effort to make a video game that is going to be so good that random passerby who hasn't played Street Fighter since like Super Turbo or Championship Edition will look at it and be like, "Oh my God, Chun-Li!" or "Hey, Ryu, I love that Cammy's ass, and, Juri's feet. I must buy the video game right now." It's simple as that. Madden series has the same kind of problem. They could put in effort to like make a very, very great product for people.
Right.
But why would they when so many people are still buying it? They're still buying it. They're still buying the DLC. There was the loot boxes thing that happened. Like,
they said you going to spend $60 and then we're going to put you onto this thing called, you paid $60 to open up Madden Ultimate Team, the ultimate gotcha game.
Right.
Where you can get different rarities of the same dude.
They have to make a Madden game that's so bad that the general community trashes it and EA gets embarrassed and has to make the best Madden game that's come out since the ESPN 2K game that you mentioned.
I think at this point they would have to come up with an injury bug that just reads like your character breaks their leg and it just says he's out for 4 to 8 weeks because he's black. They'd have to put something like that in the game. That's the only way.
Racism? That's the only way.
EA's got to be like, "Hey guys, we don't know how this type of thing happened, but we're going to make sure that we're going to do right by our consumers, because that is not the way." It's going to take a huge PR media tour for them.
Look, they're going to have to make Blitz 3, no, let's not reboot Blitz.
No, first of all, you can't even call it Blitz 3, because if I don't know if you remember, there was like that, it was like 4-on-4 or 6-on-6 Blitz arcade game that was on the Xbox 360.
Oh,
Don't forget, that's the last Blitz we got, I believe.
Look, man, that will bring people back. That'll bring casuals into football games. I'll even check out the game if they really bring a Blitz game that actually cares about being Blitz.
And no, this is not an invitation for you to make the league again. I don't want the league 3.
No, don't make Blitz serious. Make it cartoony. All right. No, don't make it actual cartoons. Don't make it animated. All right. Make it as goofy as it was before and fun. Simple as that. And don't Mortal Kombat the whole thing. Don't decide that they've got to have like X-ray, showings of people getting their bones broken and stuff like that. Like more gore is going to bring people to the game. No. Cartoonish violence is what I'm here for. Look, dial it up a little bit. Have one of the players just like pull out a bomb and just throw it as like, I don't know, some sort of like power up in the game or whatever. Like, oh, we're losing. I just bombed the other team. Now I can pick up the ball and I can score a touchdown. Do something, but don't make it like realistic violence. That's all. We've seen enough of that on Twitter.com. Actually, shit. Goddamn.
Bro, so you said that SonicFox is trending on Twitter, so I clicked on
it. Mm-hmm.
Somebody said
you shouldn't have done it.
Well, no, because I just wanted to see what type of parasocial nonsense I could see.
Look. Before you say what you have to say,
okay.
I want to say right now to the rest of you who are watching this, if you ever see SonicFox trending, it will take 2 to 4 posts before you see animated Fox penis. and you don't want to see that. You don't want to see it.
Okay, well, luckily I've avoided that landmine. But basically, somebody said the only real opinion I have on the Skullgirls censorship stuff is that they're patching a $10 in-game art book to remove concept art and guest art, and that's shockingly stupid. And that's what that person led with. I'm not even here to talk about that. Someone said, wait. They patched an art book? Question mark? And then somebody came out of nowhere. This is a third party. This is someone that's not even related to the first 2 points of this conversation. They said, yep, and the FGC LARPers were celebrating it too. But this isn't a surprise. Remember, they replaced an NPC with SonicFox, who's pretty much a parasite within the fighting game community.
Is that a Dixerto article?
No. This is some dude named Komodo91.
Oh, all right. Well,
watch out, gentleman and a scholar over here. But like, this is what people are. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking. Like, people just out of nowhere, just yep, they're a parasite. It's like, do you even know these people?
Hey, speaking of art books, speaking of art books that need to be censored, have you ever seen the Blaze Blue Central Fiction art book?
No, I have not.
Okay. One day when you're on a secure network, look it up. Look it up. Actually, look it up, because you will see from that why maybe Arxis is not allowed to let that same artist make an art book again for a while, because some of those characters in that series are like basically lollies, right?
Oh god.
Yeah, I gotta say no more. See?
All right, well, we're banned.
They went mask off. They went mask off. It is insane. I own a copy of the game. I owned like a digital copy of the game, and I never looked at that art book. And then I saw like a Twitter thread talking about it, and it's like, have you guys ever seen it? And it's like, it has stuff like this. And I was like, this is obviously Photoshop. There's no way. And I opened the art book that I own, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it's worse.
Not Double D pointing to the facts, but it's the art book. It looks like that. But yeah, dang, it's been an hour already. Talking to you guys is always a blast, guys. Never forget. Is there any other topics that we want to bring up today? About an hour in.
Real quick, Colleen. Okay. Well, first off, we know about the Street Fighter 6 throw.
The input.
The input OS.
Bug OS.
Yeah. That is gonna get. So as soon as I saw that, and I saw the guy who posted it, he's first off, someone quote tweeted it. That's how I saw it, and they're like, this is crazy. Like, oh wow, that's really crazy. Should have saved that for Evo or whatever. And the guy commented under it was like, shh, just don't tell anybody, and then we'll be fine. And I'm like, bro, you posted it on Twitter.com. Capcom is going to see it, and it's going to be removed tomorrow. There's no way you would have posted this. Like, there's no reason for you to post this if you thought this is going to be your secret tech to win Evo, because we wouldn't have known. It's so like easy, and it's so like
some people may not have even thought about it because of how easy it is. Like, it's one of those things where it's so simple. Most people would have never even tried it because it's like, nah, that's dumb.
Exactly. You would just be like, hey, that guy's godlike. He teched everything, and he's just blocking too. Wow, that's crazy. If you don't know, the OS basically makes it so that you can option select to either block or tech a throw. And you can do this at any point in the screen. Like, basically, you're holding down the DI input, and then you're mashing the simultaneous input assistance.
Yeah.
Every 5 frames. So every 5 frames, it will try to tech a throw. And if it doesn't, like, if a throw is not coming out, instead, it'll just block for you.
Now, you want to know something wild? You did all that just to get bodied by someone who's got a command grab. You're not taking those.
Yeah, that's right. Command grab characters are coming out after you because you can't tech those throws. Thank God. But yeah, so as soon as I saw that tech, I was like, this is nothing for me to learn. This is nothing for me to worry about, because the Street Fighter Twitter is going to come out tomorrow and say, guys, we know, we're going to take care of it. This is the patch that needs to be done for the game.
And you want to know something? You want to know something that's crazy?
What?
They have a lot of online qualifiers. So let's just say it takes them a while to patch this.
Bro,
all we gotta do is go back and look at the replay.
It's already happened. What you're saying has already happened. Literally yesterday in an online tournament, someone posted a clip of the fight that they did online, and they're like, yeah, so about that illegal tech, and you just see the inputs right there, and they're like, yeah, that guy, he was doing it. His opponent was doing it.
And they're just like, I see. He was not the godlike gamer we thought he was.
No.
What was crazy is like he was using it and he still lost the set.
Still lost the set. Didn't matter.
Well, hey,
so,
you know,
like, yeah.
Hey, he didn't get throw loop though. He didn't get throw loop. We can at least say that. But you were saying, I guess the last topic to bring it home.
Colleen Ballinger, you know, if you're on the internet and you care about her or whatever, you've seen your favorite content creator make a video about this, so we don't need to say very much about it. Look, this is another case of, hey, this content creator that was like really popular during like early YouTube days and stuff, where people were pretty weird and we were just kind of like, that's just what they're doing for the character, for the content or whatever. We're now finding out, no, they're just weird. And it's not good. And in her case, potentially, some children might have been harmed, or, you know, might have been groomed, or, you know, whatever. It's very, very strange.
Right.
But there are definitely DMs of this woman asking a child, asking a teen, hey, are you a virgin? Or, hey, have you had sex? Or, you know, tell me about your sex, you know, that sort of thing. Or talking about her sex life to this kid. She was a little too buddy with her younger audience. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, people in the Smash scene who are like 30 and up constantly needing to say this. There is no reason for you to hang out with these new kids who are part of the scene. I get that you're a part of the scene and that, you know, with the new games, there are younger players, but there is no reason for you to be like going out to an after party with the like 16-year-old Smash player when you're 30 something. Why don't you hang out with the other older people or go home? Just go home, because outside of you both playing the game or you both knowing the game or whatever, what do you have to talk about?
There ain't nothing y'all got going on that you can't do in the safety of a Discord call and playing the game online.
Yep. You can have like a casual, you know, like acquaintanceship or whatever. You know, you could be like a mentor figure to the kid or whatever. But the moment it starts getting towards that, like, y'all are a little too close sort of thing, go home. Don't interact with that person for at least a week. Like, don't do it. Just don't do it. Because then you had all those stories that came out with the Smash scene, and, well, we all know about that. That's really how it ended up happening, because a lot of these people...
They really did it, bro. That's what's crazy. That's what's
all these people were around these
up,
kids. That's what's up. And same thing with her. She was around all these kids, and so she took advantage. And she put out a shitty apology video where she busted out a ukulele, which, Jesus Christ.
It's wild that it's like, yeah, but I make singing content, so I had to make a song about my troubles, and it's like,
no, you didn't.
I was like,
you didn't
ma'am,
have to.
I was like, ma'am, you understand that these are criminal allegations that are being alleged against you right now, right?
I mean, it could have been a flex. Look, what you were saying about the guy that went against SonicFox earlier, that applies tenfold to Colleen Ballinger here, because I never gave a fuck about her. I didn't know
who she was till you brought it up today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't care about her content or anything like that. You know, I recognized her face, never really watched her stuff. It wasn't really for me. But between her name getting brought up for the controversy and then her making this apology video, everyone is going to know who she is for the next like week and a half. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up on like Jimmy Fallon or something like that. Look at this YouTuber's crazy apology video, and she's going to get all kinds of clout off of it. Maybe
she wanted
did
brown face. She did anti-LGBTQ stuff. Like she she's had a history. Like, this isn't like isolated incident. This is something that's been a pattern of behavior for like over a decade at this point. Like, what was it? Some of the videos are 14 years old. Some of them are as recent as like 6 months ago. And it's like, but I've grown as a person. And it's like, have you? It just seems like you get caught doing one fucked up thing and you say, well, on to the next one. And then you get caught doing that one. Then you bust out the ukulele.
Yep.
That should not be your workflow. Damn,
Look.
foiled again. Pull out the ukulele.
A little bit of life advice here. If you ever meet a person and like they're getting in some heat over something, like maybe someone's criticizing them, like, hey, Judy, I don't really like the way that you laugh at me whenever I tell very deep stories about my life, and then they bust out the ukulele, walk away, and you don't really need to talk to that person ever again, because it's not really going to be conducive to your life or your mental health.
That's facts. Whether you like it or not, sometimes you just got to know when to leave well enough alone and walk away.
9 times out of 10, that person's going to be very insufferable in regular situations, and you don't have to deal with that.
It's just not even worth. But let that be a lesson to you, folks. If they're online and they seem like an idiot, chances are they are. Believe them. When they show you, believe them. Believe them. This is not copium. Just accept, you know what? You got it, big dog. You'll live a much happier life, and your timeline will eventually start curating itself. But anyways, folks, I think we're going to bring it to a close here. Went into a little overtime at the 72-minute mark. But remember, as always, we'll see you next week with the same smiles on our faces and probably more bullshit to talk about. But anyways, thank you for joining us. Subtle Fraudulence, is anything you'd like to close them out on?